The 8-year assault on your Second Amendment freedoms has come to a crashing end. I like taking the guns early. Take the guns first, go through due process second.
Well, I say go fuck yourself. Then ask a question, could I kill a man? I would enjoy myself. You can't disguise evil eyes that burn a hole in my head. This devil man and his master plan. We feel so misled, so I say, rise up, take all back. Rise up, take it all back. Hope you all understand. We got to take it all back again.
These people are not going to take it any longer. We will never give up. We will never concede. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. But go home and go home in peace. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. You do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the evening catch-up. What's up, Riddle? What's up, Gerald? What's up, Anonymous? What? Old throwback. I don't watch too much TV anymore, but that was an old commercial back when I was a kid. Not much. Rocking my youngest to bed. Ooh, it's probably a little bit late there. Well, I'll try to be quiet and do ASMR. ASMR evening catch-up. Hello. And how are you doing, Gerald? It is a little creepy, isn't it? All right, I won't do that. You just have to turn me down or something. All right. Today is Friday, so if you're into those happy Friday things, happy Friday to you. It was a nice day for me. I was cat just trying to get up there. So a lot of things happened today for us. I mean, payday. Always love payday. Had to go withdraw some money because, the trip that I'm putting money towards. Went and bought some more ammunition. Unfortunately, they didn't have what I wanted, but they still had stuff that I could use. And what I mean by that is they had been carrying the PMC X-Tac green tip 5.56 for like $11 a box, and they were out of it, and they're expecting to get a shipment in like tomorrow. Wait till tomorrow, but nah, I'll just get some PMC bronze. So I got PMC bronze at the same price as I can get the PMC X-Tac. It's $11 a box, which isn't horrible. And then picked up some more 300 blackout, but they didn't have any of the Hordnay Black 300 blackout subsonic, which is way overpriced. It's like $35 a box. But they did have a box or a couple boxes of the supersonic Hordnay VMAX Black edition, right? So I did pick up some of those. Same damn price as the subsonics. Doesn't really much matter. I mean, I've shot supersonics out of my suppressed 300 blackout, and it's still pretty damn quiet. So I ain't too worried about it. You mean you don't use real rocks? And sometimes I think that may work better. Dude, back in the day when I had to get my daughter to sleep when she was about 2 to 3 years old, the best way to get her to sleep was drive her around in the vehicle. And there was one time we got pulled over, and I think it was because we were going too slow, or I didn't signal. I don't even remember what I got pulled over for, right? But as soon as I saw him following me, I was worried because I just got her to sleep, right? I've been driving around for a half a fucking hour, and I see him pulling in behind me as I'm driving around. I'm like, oh shit, please don't pull me over. Please don't pull me over. And then sure enough, he does. Full lights, full sirens. Kid wakes up screaming. He's like, what you out doing out here so late? I'm like, I'm trying to get my kid to sleep. And she just fell asleep until you whooped your siren at her. He was very apologetic. Like, I was pissed, and that was one of the I'm usually pretty respectful to police officers. It just works out better for you if you are. So, and the whole not showing them ID, I show them ID. I mean, shit. Do what you do. I mean, if you don't show ID and am I being detained? More power to you. But I'd rather not spend a night in the jail, and I'm not that well spoken to talk my way out of getting a ticket, and fuck that shit. But I just remember that moment. It's hilarious. Okay. And then I got a package from somebody. I think I can say who it is. Anonymous American. And if you're a member of my Discord, I believe the video is on the Discord, so you can watch the unboxing of that. But a lot of cool goodies in there, including some front and rear sights for Riddle Girl's 300 Blackout, which I promptly put on. And it's amazing. Thank you very much for that. I really do appreciate it. That was a great package. It was all wrapped in duct tape. I don't know how much duct tape you used, but it was a lot. I need to resharpen my knife. I have to go to a friend of the better half tomorrow. Looks nice. Looking nice is so oh yeah, you got to get dressed up. Fuck that shit. But at least one of the bridesmaids. Oh, I have to go to a friend of the better half. So you're going to a wedding, but at least one of the bridesmaids' man has a mohawk, so I won't be the only mean-looking mofo there. Hell yeah. Forgot the important word. Yeah, wedding. Yeah, that you have to dress up for that. Although, you know what? I have dressed up before, but I believe the last time I dressed up, I was pushing 400 pounds. I think I'd look a lot nicer now dressed up, but I don't have any dress clothes for me at this weight. You can put it on any video site. You don't care? Well, I thought it would be kind of fun just for our core group in the Discord. Although I might go ahead. I'll go ahead and make it live sometime this weekend. But I kind of want to encourage people to visit the Discord, man. It is a cool community. I think we lost Lee, Abex, right? I don't think he's part of the Discord anymore. So I don't know if I said something that pissed him off, and he's like, bye, but he didn't say nothing. So I responded to him because we're going to be using a clip that he shared in the Discord, and I didn't get around to until just recently. Well, right now. So let's do that. Before we do that, though, this is a video. I think I got this from Irish's Morning Muster this morning. I think he might have shared it with me. I'm pretty sure he did. This is KTS Yukon. I don't really know who this is. They've got 466 subscribers, so there's why I didn't know who it was. Oh, by the way, Guns Coast to Coast did a video a while back talking about Canadian Prepper. I had no idea that dude even existed. I'm just watching a Guns Coast to Coast video because I like watching Guns Coast to Coast videos, right? And then he's talking about Canadian Prepper. I'm like, who the fuck is Canadian Prepper? Apparently, he's some big time thing. Like, if you type in Prepper in YouTube, you're going to get documentaries and Canadian Prepper. Okay. Well, I watch some big channels. I do watch Demolition Ranch once in a while because, it's ridiculous. And if you haven't seen my firearms, I like the ridiculous, right? It's fun. You got to, a lot of people prepare for the end of the world or the coming apocalypse or SHTF and all of these reasons why you get all your gear and you pack all your food and you get all your bullets, right? You go off grid. And that's fun for a while, but I mean, it's all doom and gloom. You got to let your inner child out and just go and destroy shit. That's what I like to do. All right. Anyway, this is about Australia. I've watched maybe 30 seconds into this and decided to share a little bit of it with you guys. I don't think we're going to watch the whole thing, but I haven't really heard much about Australia. Here and there, I hear some things about Australia, but apparently, according to him, they're in a full-on revolt over the COVID. So let's watch this.
So it's safe to say that Australia is in a full push on tyranny. There's a full offensive taking place in Australia right now against Australian citizens by their government. The propaganda outlets here in the United States are suppressing it. That's why a lot of people aren't seeing it. But if you dig enough and get to those sources we talked about in the last video, those more conservative-based sources, those more patriotic-based sources, you're going to see the story. You're going to see clips. You're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. There's not quite a bit that they can do about it at this moment because, like I've talked about, and I'm going to reach back to about the mid-90s, the good people of Australia, the good patriots of Australia were duped and convinced that by turning in their weapons that it was going to somehow make things better in their country. Well, obviously it's not making things good at all because they have no means to fight back against this tyranny, all under the guise of public health. But if you watch some of these clips, the way these people are being manhandled, it's pretty evident that their government does not have their health or best interest in mind. It's pretty obvious. All right, 24 September 2021. This is a test run. If you look at Australia, what's taking place in Australia, this echoes the sentiment of the left in this country. I talked about this also in the last video, how even before this coronavirus thing came downrange and started really picking up steam, there was a lot of discussion taking place, emanating primarily from the left, about the Australian model of gun control. And the liberals are just convinced that that's the greatest thing. Obviously, the reason they want to implement a type of gun control like Australia and New Zealand is so that they can do exactly what their government is doing to those people down there. They would like to have that same environment here. Minor problem. There are millions of firearms in the hands of free Americans here in the continental United States.
Wasn't Australia like a prison at one time or something like that, right? Did they ever get their independence? I don't even know. Anyway, firearms isn't nearly big, as big in their culture as here in America, I suppose. What's up, Armed Archangel? How you doing? Canadian Prepper is a fear porn artist. What up, my peeps? Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't, I think I've only ever subscribed to two people with the word prepper in their name. Kansas Hillbilly Prepper and Southern Indiana Prepper. Other than that, Southern Indiana Prepper no longer exists, and Kansas Hillbilly Prepper died. So there you go. I'm not subscribed to any preppers anymore. Although I thought about starting my own damn prepper channel, but I don't even know. Okay. Canadian Prepper is trying to sell prepper stuff. Yeah. that's what I got from the video that I didn't watch any of his videos, but the video that Guns was talking about. He makes prepper gear roll that is nice, but very pricey for what it is. He makes a lot off of that and sponsors. Yep. And he puts in ads for his own shit in each video. Yeah, I heard. It's smart. It is smart. That sells. Fear sells. And I know it sells because every time we have a big news story, we get lots of people coming in. There's been sometimes I couldn't even keep up with the chat. We had so many people in. I forget exactly. It might have been when Wisconsin was Kyle Rittenhouse. It might have been then. But I remember like having tons of people in here once where I was like, this is a great problem to have. It sucks in a way because I like my group a little bit small so I can take some time and chat with you, hence the chat. I'm not just telling you the news. I like to discuss the news. That's what y'all. When I ask you to send me stories, I mean it. If you find a story that I don't cover, like that whole missing girl story, I would have loved to have that a little bit earlier, right? If there's a story you think it's prudent or whatever, either hit me up in the Discord, or if you're not in Discord, if I know you and I like you enough, you can hit me up in the YouTubes, and I'll do that as well. As far as fear porn, though, I mean, each person's going to make their own money. People fall for it. There is a recipe for success on YouTube. Even as a conservative, I mean, look at the big gun channels. And I can't really say look at Canadian Prepper because I haven't watched any of his videos. But I can look at Demolition Ranch. Never talks about politics. Just shoots guns, right? And does it in a cool way. Got lots of different camera angles, got drone shots, got pictures and pictures if needed, slow-mos. I keep thinking about getting a drone one of these days. Anyway, it sucks that he sold out, but it is, it is what it is. I need to sell stuff. I would love to sell stuff. The Amazon links down there is a little bit of me selling out. If this ever got real popular and that started paying me money, yeah, I'm going to promote more of that stuff. So I can't blame him for wanting to make $1. At that point, when you get to his level, you don't have that one-on-one anymore, right? I don't comment on Demolition Ranch videos. Why do I not comment? Because what's the point? He's never going to see it. He's definitely never going to respond to it. So I just don't even bother. I watch the video. I live vicariously, and then I move on. And luckily, it's no fear porn. He always has something to sell, but luckily, I can fast forward that shit real quick. Get yourself an ad blocker. True. Get that money. Yeah. That's the good and the bad, right? I've had, y'all know my normal channel, my main channel, 12,000 subs. 12,000. A lot of people look at that and like, damn, that's a lot of subs. Dude, I've had this account since like 2006, 2007, right? And it took off in 2008 with doing Big Brother. And at that time, I was putting 12 hours a day into the videos that I put out. And I was putting out 6 videos a week. And eventually, I started doing live streams before you could do live streams on YouTube. I was doing live streams on my own website. And I had some crappy t-shirts I was selling. But I mean, at that point, the only reason I bring that up is because at that point, it was kind of cool. I could see that my channel was taking off. And all of a sudden, the people that I would regularly comment with, I would still look for their comments. But I would never really meet anybody new much because there was just too many comments. Is that me or you? That's me. Spam calls. Anybody have a spam deleter thing? I know they have an app that costs money, and I don't really want to do that. But if you have something that can help me with my spam calls, you will be my hero. Anyway, I've been close to that. I've seen it. I've tasted it, at least. Right? I've tasted it. And I don't necessarily know if I'm a fan of it. It's a good thing, but it's also, it kind of sucks at the same time. Anyway.
Take that for what it's worth. Will we ever become like Australia? Doubtful.
Wow.
Not without
nice
resistance and pushback against a government that wishes to impose those kind of draconian measures on us. And they would very much like to push those draconian measures onto us. So the problem that we face, the way I see it, is because we're free, because we have the ability to resist government tyranny, this corona stuff and the lockdowns, all of this, these
Joe
social
Biden
control
said I need an
mechanisms, it's going
F-16
to
or a
last
nuclear
quite a bit
warhead.
longer here in the United States, because in order for this government to get to their desired end state, they have to go through a lot of motions in order to reach that point. And I don't think they'll ever be able to reach that point, honestly, here in the US. In Australia, totally different story. Because my understanding is that by and large, like I said, the folks down under just don't have the means to push back. And if I'm going to bet you there's at least 3% in that population that held on to their weapons, said, yeah, okay, fine, whatever, and kept them and have them stowed away. And they're
that's
probably
not very
waiting
nice.
to that final point. And there's going to be a breaking point. Make no mistake. There's going to be a breaking point in Australia when those citizens have decided that they've had enough. And they're going to start stacking fucking bodies. That's a fact. And let me add to that. We're going to stay in the arena of ideas here in the United States because we have the capability to do that. Set up.
It's funny, I keep looking at the grill. I think it's a Weber. All right, I'm done with that video because I'm looking at his background now. With the whole getting big on YouTube, I think it'd be nice to have like a secondary. Well, I have 2 channels, so it'd be very easy for me to do like the big shit on one and then just have like a cool little hangout with all my peeps, you know. Although there's other Discords too. Apparently, Demolition Ranch has finally gotten a Discord. That's hilarious. So, I mean, if you're into Demolition Ranch and you're questioning on getting a Discord to join mine, well, if you join mine, you could also then join Demolition Ranch. I think my light is too bright, or I need to wash my face or something. My goodness, I got shiny. Amazon links ain't selling out unless you nonstop push it and complain that people don't use links. Nah, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. Everything, and we'll have to reapply for it and redo it all the time. And I definitely want ideas. If you guys buy something on Amazon and you think it's decent quality, hit me up in my Discord or tell me here, and I will see about linking it down below. I only want stuff that you've actually bought, used, and like. And that's what's down below right now is all the stuff that I've bought myself, used, and would buy again. 5 stars. Great. It was Stinger's Taste of Fame. 12. What did you say? 20,000. Hold up. My biggest sub count was on my Gone channel, Savage Survival. Had 23,000, but I nuked it. Why'd you nuke it? Did you get scared like Irish got scared? Irish was getting big. He wasn't like that or anything, but he was getting big, and then he got contacted by a television show, and he freaked the fuck out and just like, nope, and it was gone. And now he's bitching all the time because, oh, I got 500 subs, and I'm never going to get monetized. Me. I'm like, first of all, you have to put out content on a regular basis, right? You can't just do this like once a year or two. You know, so you keep that morning muster going. You put out your other videos, good to go. I'm gonna, when I go there, I'm definitely gonna help him out with the OBS and maybe some editing software and teach him a little bit of how to do that. And hopefully he'll use it. Maybe we'll make some video. We'll definitely make some videos. You got recognized at work? When was that?
When we were in Wisconsin.
Well, yeah, obviously that's when we were
At
doing
the
big
gas
deals.
station.
Oh,
I
yeah?
remember me coming home freaked out that that couple recognized me.
That's cool. 23,000. Was it all survival stuff? I mean, Savage Survival, I would imagine. That was before the first ad pocket. Yeah. Yeah, I started mine back when we had stars, not thumbs ups and thumbs down. That was the best thing Google did. The only thing that I've ever really approved of from Google was that they took away the star ratings and gave thumbs ups and thumbs down. Most people would give you 1 star if they hated it and they wanted to troll you, and other people would give you 5 stars if they liked it, or they wouldn't give you anything. That was the normal 3 responses to the star rating. However, every once in a while, I'd get one motherfucker that'd come in and give me like 4 stars or 3 stars, and then explain why that I got that rating and not either higher or lower. Get the fuck out of here. I don't use Amazon. Yeah, I get that. No, I get that. I wouldn't mind setting up something else. There's the whole idea of sponsorships too, but at the same time, I'm not going to push something that I don't use or think is good. I've done sponsorship videos before, back when I was doing regular gun gear reviews. I got a Aegis Armory holster, which I still wear. I have on me right now, and I've been wearing for like 7 years. And I would love to do a follow up video review of that. Unfortunately, that company no longer exists. I did a review on Troy Battle Rails. I didn't get that one. I'm going off rail. The Troy Battle Rail I absolutely hated. Absolutely hated. I did not get that free. I paid for that. Absolutely hated it and laid in. And I think I saved a few people from that shit. That was horrible. Prepping and survival. Yeah. What am I doing wrong, Anonymous? I need to do other shit. I need to do videos. I think videos they do better than the live streams. The videos will get you popular enough to where then when you do the live streams, when I see big channels do live streams, those things bring in money. Like money in donations and shit, right? And I'm thinking, man, I need to get popular first and then do the live streams. But at the same time, I already discussed that. Ammo sponsor. Yeah. Good luck. All right. This came from Lee, and I kind of want to share this. I'm going to share this with OMG. OMG says he doesn't believe in chemtrails. I don't know what I believe, right? I haven't done the deep dive on chemtrails. I can see the argument that it's just because they're up higher, right? That's why it lasts all day. Because back in the 60s and the 70s, we didn't have these trails crossing our sky and the X patterns. We didn't have that. That's a recent phenomenon in aviation. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm not a pilot. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. Maybe they stay up there because they're up so high and the atmosphere is thinner. Maybe. They only get 60% of the donation. It used to be sponsored by One Tigress and did a dog harness reviews and other gear. I contacted them after I loved their gear. They hooked me up. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, that's one thing I haven't done is I haven't reached out to companies. I should probably do that. Well, shit, Anonymous. Hit me up in my Discord if you got any ideas on that. Anyway, I thought about sharing this with OMG, and I probably will. He hasn't been in a while. But I'm curious what y'all think. This doesn't have a story. It has some comments. And we're just going to watch it. Yeah, that shows up good. Supposedly, this is a Japan air flight or airplane. Looks like a passenger plane. And I would be very, if this is not chemtrails, what is it? That's what I want to know. I mean, I get the water condensation, but it's not going anywhere. You don't even hear the engines going. I have no idea what that is, but I thought it was worth sharing. The JAL, Japanese Airlines aircraft, and possibly a Japan airport looking at service vehicles. Okay. Sulfur dioxide in the mixture. I have no idea if there's sulfur dioxide in that. I don't even know what that is, to be honest. 15 to 20 buck an hour ought to be an incentive. These bitches cut off. What? I'm fucking homeless. No helping. Somebody's talking about his own personal story. So yeah, I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Yeah, YouTube always takes a cut. That's why I always promote. Well, even back when I was still monetized and I still had super chats, I was pushing the alternative super chat because I get a lot more of that than I do of the YouTube one. did a bit of research on that. I have decided that I believe the government is releasing aluminum vapor to try to control the weather. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. It's an interesting watch, for sure. Okay, Arizona's audit's first witness shows 17,000 duplicate ballots, more than Biden's margin. The number of illegal ballots found in Maricopa County, more than 55,000, is over 4 times the current amount separating President Trump and Joe Biden. The Arizona Senate Judiciary Committee is receiving the results of the forensic audit. Senate President Karen Fann, a Republican, confirmed that the audit draft reflects some findings from the final report, though the draft and the final report do not match exactly. Fann said the Arizona state did not authorize the audit to decertify the results of the 2020 presidential election. So, see, they're not trying to decertify it. There's no way to do it. It's not going to happen, but it still matters, in my opinion. Fan said that Arizona. Oh, wait, I already read that. Our number one goal is to make sure that we have election integrity here, she said. That's when you go to the polls, you know that your ballot was counted and it was counted fairly and it was counted accurately. Arizona Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Warren Peterson said that he will refer any criminal findings in the forensic audit to the State Attorney General, Mark Grinovich. The first witness in the hearing, Dr. Shiva, not even going to try the last name, a pattern recognition expert, revealed that he found 17,000 duplicate ballots in Maricopa County. Some voters cast up to 4 ballots. Well, that's unusual. By the way, YouTube, I am not questioning, absolutely not questioning the 2020 presidential election. I might question the 2016 because I don't think Trump won that. But the 2020 presidential election, as I said, Trump lost, Biden won. I'm not questioning that. But this is newsworthy, so that's why I'm going to cover it. We'll see if that disclaimer works, but you can't even talk about this stuff without worrying about getting a strike. Maricopa County reported 0 duplicates in its final canvass. Okay, so this one says voters cast up to 4, and this one said 0 duplicates. Okay, so no duplicates. They were separate ones. The county stamped duplicate ballots with verified and approved. Maricopa County received 96% of duplicate ballots after Election Day. This person, who I'm not pronouncing, also observed a 25% surge in duplicate mail-in ballots on Election Day and for 5 days afterwards. State Senator Wendy Rogers, a Republican, called for a decertification based on this single testimony. And I don't think you should decertify anything, even if it was provable, which obviously it's not, YouTube. Over 17,000 duplicate votes. Decertify the, you know what she said. Leaked drafts of the Arizona Senate's forensic audit report shows that enough illegal and that enough of these pieces of paper entered last November for the legislator to decertify President Biden's supposed, obvious victory. According to an early and unverified summary, the forensic audit found more potentially invalid pieces of paper than the margin that separates Biden from Trump. More than 55,000 illegal pieces of paper. The number of illegal pieces of paper found in Maricopa County, more than 55,000, is over 4 times the current amount separating President Trump and Biden. Arizona officials' results declared Biden the winner by 11,000 votes. 3 categories contain the vast majority of potentially illegal pieces of paper sent and cast from a voter's previous address, voters who cast ballots multiple counties, and voters who cast more mail-in ballots than they received. These 3 categories reportedly resulted in more than 42,000 unfortunate mistakes of pieces of paper. Another 17 categories of illegal election practices contributed to the remaining 13,000. Trump released a statement about the audit preliminary results. The fake news is lying about the Arizona report, he said in a press release. The leaked report conclusively shows that there were enough wrong pieces of paper or mystery votes and ones that are just outright not true to change the outcome of what happened last November. He said the audit found, big bad words, that must be criminally investigated. The corporate media has operated a propaganda campaign to prepare Americans to reject the forensic audit results. Yeah. Look at me now. I'm worried. You can see how worried I am about getting a strike on this channel. I mean, we might have to go to Riddle Girl's channel if I get another one on this. Although there was a channel name that I was gonna. Yeah, I'll probably create a new channel. I'll let y'all know on Discord if that happens. Mainstream outlets rebounded that effort in the past few days by spreading false reports that Cyber Ninjas, the company that conducted the audit, had been confirmed Biden's alleged victory. Really? Well, there you go. Wouldn't that be something? Can you imagine if Cyber Ninjas comes out and says, yeah, I mean, there was a couple here and there, but nothing to change the election. Biden won, fair and square. Wouldn't that be nice? And maybe I wouldn't get in trouble every time I talked about these fucking stories. Arizona State Senator Wendy Rogers said the draft report does not contain the audit's full findings, meaning that in the election, the bad pieces of paper could exceed over 55,000 votes. I just talked to Doug Logan via phone. The leaked draft is simply a draft and is only a partial report. Tomorrow's hearing will render findings of great consequence. Then he said, God is in control. Tomorrow's hearing. Tomorrow is Saturday. Huh. All right. Well, I'll be watching this. Then he said, God is in control. Please pray for our audit team tomorrow as they present their findings. The Arizona Senate will release the full report at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is, I believe, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, my time. Arizona GOP chairwoman Kelly Ward called for a full canvass of the state's results based on the draft report. Now, they did go door to door to some of the, I think most of the people who did the mail-in ballots, absentee, and they found a lot of people either didn't live there anymore or never lived there, or a lot of strange things. Just saying. Kelly Ward called, yeah, I read that. Mail-in absentee vote is ripe for problems. We need a full canvassing of Arizona, and Attorney General person needs to do it tomorrow. I might have to do I don't want to. I don't want to do a special. If it comes out tomorrow, we're doing a special evening catch-up, or at least I'll do a video on that. What's up, Zudak? How you doing? I did a bit of, I read that. That's the one thing I'm 100% sure of. Maybe it's a steam-powered plane. Oh, bro. That's hilarious. Dude, that's funny as shit. Can we put that on a t-shirt? Maybe make a video, put it on YouTube. Hey, look at this steam-powered airplane Japan has. Maybe it's methane powered and they were releasing all the farts from last night. Oh yeah, that's pretty close to the bathroom. Yeah, it is right in the end. I mean, he's in charge already, so there's nothing to lose. I gotta go early. All right, Anonymous, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for the gift too. That was very unnecessary, but appreciate it. Yeah, we'll be on tomorrow we'll be on later tonight for the Bible chat, and then we'll be on tomorrow definitely for the last Bible chat. Not the last Bible chat, but the last episode in that series. And yeah, if Arizona comes back with a big old story tomorrow, that's an if, then we might have another evening catch up tomorrow, or one right before the Bible chat. Biden could owe more than $500K in back taxes. So what? It's the top trending story, though. So I'm kind of curious. Why is it the top trending story? He could owe more than 500 grand in back taxes. I'm sure he's got plenty of illegal money to pay that. I mean, allegedly. I have no idea. Do your own research. Let's see. In 2019, it was discovered that Biden exploited a tax loophole that allowed him to avoid paying Medicare taxes for years before he took office. Government documents from 2017 to 18 showed he routed more than $13 million in speaking fees and book sales through S corporations. He also counted less than $800,000 in his income and his personal salary, which would have made it eligible for Medicare tax, according to Wall Street Journal. In total, he saved as much as $500,000 in taxes by labeling his speaking fees and book sales as business income rather than self-employed income. However, a report from the CRS suggests Biden could have to pay those taxes. Okay. Representative Jim Banks, chairman of the Republican Study Committee, said it's clear that Biden illegally used the S corporation structure to avoid paying the Medicare tax and cited several examples in which the Internal Revenue Service was able to win judgment against other taxpayers who did the same thing. That here's the problem. That's other taxpayers. That's not Joe Biden. There's a difference. If I did that versus Joe Biden did that, or put any politician you want in there. If Hillary Clinton did that, or I did that, if I deleted 30,000 emails that were subpoenaed and destroyed all the evidence, I think there would have been a different outcome for me versus Hillary Clinton. Joe Biden wants to raise taxes by $2.1 trillion while claiming the rich need to pay their fair share. But in 2017, Joe Biden skirted his payroll taxes, the very taxes fund Medicare and Obamacare. According to the criteria CRS provided it to my office, he owes the IRS and the American people hundreds of thousands of dollars in back taxes. Every American should know about Joe Biden's tax hypocrisy. Oh, is Joe Biden a hypocrite on something else? Say it ain't so, Joe. Biden doesn't really believe in expanding programs like Medicare and Obamacare because thought buying a second multi-million-dollar mansion and renting a third was more important than helping to fund. They don't pay those. Usually people in power, especially in Congress, write themselves out of whatever they sign into law anyway. They have an exemption for themselves. People that were in Congress and in Washington, D.C., when they signed the Affordable Care Act, they didn't, any business that they had, they didn't have to comply with it. They wrote themselves out of it. There's a problem with that, in my opinion. New laptop emails show more Hunter Biden's ties to China. He attempted to acquire an annual $2 million retainer to aid the recovery of Libyan asset frozen by President Obama. The discovery further validates the legitimacy of last year's report by the New York Post about the Bidens and the social media outlets trying to suppress. Well, yeah, social media is, you don't have a First Amendment anymore. You might not go to jail, but you won't be allowed to speak. Business Insider published information from two emails, one from January 28, 2015, from Democratic donor Sam Jahari to Sheikh Mohammed al-Rahbani, an Obama donor. The email have no relation to Hunter Biden's laptop scandal. The emails have no relation to Hunter Biden's laptop scandal. Per phone conversation I met with number 2's son, he wants $2 per year retainer, which means $2 million. His dad is deciding to run or not, wrote Jahari in the email. Jahari also listed a string of benefits that would result from paying off Hunter, including his business relationship with John Kerry's stepson, Chris Hines, and Biden's connection with China. And if you're wondering, yes, that is Heinz ketchup. According to the email, benefits from working with the Biden include his chairmanship of UN World Food Program, son of number 2, who has Libya file access to State Treasury business partner S, Secretary of State, John Forbes, Kerry, son. And since he travels with dad, he is connected everywhere in Europe and Asia where Muammar Gaddafi, are we talking about actual Gaddafi? And LIA, or Libya Investment Authority, had money frozen. He said he has access to the highest levels in China. He can help there. Washington's lawyer John Sandwedge sent another newly revealed email on February 26, 2016. I spoke with HB's team yesterday, Hunter Biden. They are interested in a project, but emphasize that for them to get involved, the team would need to be a small group of folks that they have a tight relationship with. Investigative journalist Glenn Greenwald said that the new information further discredits legacy media organizations that sought to cover it. Who gives a fuck? Too late. The game is over. This is like, seriously, and I still cover it because it still matters. But at the same time, I'm getting the strikes and I'm getting in all these troubles and I have to watch everything I say for something that you can't do anything really about. It just hopefully will shine some light to people about this, that now maybe will convince them that this shit is going on. Because there's a lot of people, in the world that think everything's fine and nothing to see here because you can't see it. It's not on YouTube. It's not on the news. Where do you see it? Where do you find out? You have to dig deep. And a lot of people don't like to dig deep. A lot of people want to be distracted by their football game. And going and doing these stories, it's kind of like a football game. It's like arguing who was the best team in the 2016 Super Bowl. Like, what, let's talk about 2016 Super Bowl. I think that ref got that call wrong, and I think that whoever lost should have won. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's over. Move on. But at the same time, it does kind of. This meant the media outlets, often all of them pretty much, with few exceptions, deliberately lied to the public in weeks before the election by telling them this was Russian disinformation and they knew it wasn't true, he told Tucker. Okay. Not this Saturday, but the next one when Stinger is gone, I will do my testimony. Nice. Hunter might have to sell a painting for today's. Yeah, that's shady as hell, too. Now, supposedly, he's not going to know who buys his paintings. Really? I'm sure he does. That's why he gave two shits about giving away our tax dollars in Afghanistan. Yeah, they don't give a fuck. They don't pay taxes. And if they do, they sure as hell don't pay their fair share. That's why I always thought it was hilarious when they were going after Trump for his taxes. Like, let me see yours first. There was a local lady trying to sell her art at a yard sale, and her art was way better than Hunter's. And yeah, it's because it is who it is. Either it's because of his name, and he's a celebrity-ish, right? That's one. Or it's because of his name, and you might get a favor from his family. There is no option 3. I guess you accidentally walked into an art gallery, thought that was actually decent art, and then decided to pay $500,000 for a piece of shit. Maybe. Pennsylvania Attorney General sues state Republicans to stop the election audit subpoenas. Pennsylvania's Attorney General Josh Shapiro filed a lawsuit against the state's GOP this week to block Republican legislators from subpoenaing election officials in its forensic investigation of last November. I don't know why I keep doing. Shapiro, a Democrat, asked the state's Commonwealth Court to block state legislator subpoena, which requests the non-public personal information of every registered Pennsylvania voter, including partial Social Security numbers and driver's license numbers. Shapiro argued the information requested is unconstitutional and irrelevant to lawmakers' legislative responsibilities. State Senator Chris Dush, the committee of the State Senate Intergovernmental Operations Committee, said the voter information is necessary to investigate allegations that votes registered as living in a condemned building were cast illegally. So apparently they had some reports of votes being cast out of buildings that were condemned. Douche encouraged Pennsylvanians to come forward with similar stories of what happened to them that was not good, so the state Senate can investigate all allegations thoroughly. Douche said the committee will soon schedule public hearings, create a website that contains updates about the audit, and request documents from both counties and the state. In response to Shapiro's lawsuit, Senate President pro tempore Jake Corman accused the Democrat prosecutor of trying to stop us from performing our constitutional duty of providing oversight of the executive branch. That's why we have 3 branches. The Pennsylvania Democratic Party also sued the state Republicans in an effort to stop the investigation. I'm telling you, man, look into the Civil War. This shit is what happened before, right before the Civil War. Like, look in 10 years before the Civil War lit up. What were they talking about? What were they doing? What's really going to happen if they prove? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't know why YouTube and big tech are so worried about that. Like I could say it all day long and just go on a tirade about Trump and how he's right. It's not going to change anything. Even if everybody in the country believe it, it's not going to change anything. It might change something next time. And I think that's what they're actually worried about, to be honest. U.S. government plans to default on debt the dishonest way. Is there an honest way? Debt troubles in China and Washington help boost safe haven demand for precious metals. But Thursday, however, investors piled back into stocks and solid safe havens again. As of Friday's recording, the gold price is essentially unchanged on the week to trade at $17.58 an ounce. Wow, I'm glad I got out when I did because I got mine for almost $2,000 an ounce. The silver market shows a very slight weekly gain at 0.2% to bring spot prices to $22.53 an ounce. I also got out about $30 an ounce on that too. Well, not completely out. I still have some silver. Turning to platinum, the catalytic metal is on the move in early fall, trading at, I don't care. Let's see. Some Democrats are proposing that the Treasury Department issue the 1 trillion platinum coin, which we already read about. Legal loopholes apparently allow for platinum coins in particular to be issued with any face value the Treasury Secretary sees fit to designate. The proposed $1 trillion coins could be deposited at Federal Reserve, which would credit the government's account with the cash it needs to pay its bills. It seems ridiculous, but the idea was taken seriously by economics, who originally flouted it to Obama's administration during the debt ceiling of 2013. Even though $1 trillion platinum coin would put precious metals back into the monetary system, they would only be used as props to facilitate massive new currency printing by the Federal Reserve. Yeah, here's the thing. People that are holding platinum right now, they're like, oh yeah, if they make $1 trillion coin, then my profits are going to go up. I only have an ounce of it, but I mean, if they have, let's say it's a 5-ounce coin, then that's like a fifth of $1 trillion. No, that's not how that works. They stamp it and it says $1 trillion. Doesn't mean it's worth $1 trillion. And that stamped 1-ounce platinum coin that you have, that's stamped with that monetary value, is still technically to the U.S. government only worth that $100 or whatever they say how much it's worth. Although you can get more at a dealer. But let's say you Ocean's 11'd it. You went and you broke into the Federal Reserve and you stole that $1 trillion coin, hypothetically. And you took it to a local coin dealer. And the coin dealer didn't suspect that you stole it. Right? He doesn't think you stole it. He thinks it's actually platinum. He ain't giving you no $1 trillion for it. Anyway, I think that's basically what they're talking about. Yeah, we already read about the $1 trillion coin, so I'm going to move on that. What's up, Broken Patriot? How you doing? Why are they fighting to get the truth? Hold on. Why are they fighting getting to the truth for let them do it and prove it was all good and no dark? Yeah. Well, when somebody starts lying or getting nervous, you can kind of tell why. You can kind of tell why. Why would they suppress it so much? Why would they give people strikes on YouTube for discussing it so much? Why the media blackout of all these stories? The Hunter Biden laptop story, right? All these stories. The Australia story. Why do they not cover that? Why aren't they covering what's going on in these states that think something went wrong last November? Well, they don't want the people watching football or whatever sport insert here. They don't want those people hearing that story, right? You don't even have that really going on Fox News too much, do you? I mean, I think maybe Hannity talks about it a little bit, but it's not a lot. This shit is going on not on the news, not on the mainstreams anyway. Maybe OAN, I don't know. I don't even watch that. Yeah, it would show people what to. Here's the thing. You had poll watchers being told to leave. You had poll watchers not allowed into certain areas. You had poll watchers who were trying to look into a window as they were covering it up with cardboard. There's a lot of problems with what happened last November. Do I think that there's any malfeasance? I don't have any evidence of it. So obviously, without any evidence of it, I'm going to say Biden won 100%. But unfortunately, they're really trying to make sure that no evidence is ever found, whether it's there or not. If it is there, then you would think that they would want us to at least look. But they don't want you to look because they're heavily invested in you not finding out, which makes you think there is something to hide. Possibly. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just some guy on the internet. Do your own research. Walensky overrides the CDC advisory panel, the Centers for Disease Control, and widens access to COVID vax boosters. Now, Walensky, isn't she Department of, hold up. Okay, she is CDC. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention on Thursday endorsed booster shots for millions of older or otherwise vulnerable Americans, opening a major new phase in the U.S. vaccination drive against sniffles. CDC Director Rochelle Walensky signed off on a series of recommendations from a panel of advisors late Thursday. The advisors said boosters should be offered to people 65 and older, nursing home residents, and those ages 50 to 64 who have a risk of underlying health problems. The extra dose would be given once they are at least 6 months past their first Pfizer shot. However, Walensky decided to make one recommendation that the panel had rejected. Okay, so she had a panel, but since she's the director of the CDC, who gives a shit? She can put in whatever she wants. The panel on Thursday voted against saying that people can get a booster if they are ages 18 to 64 years and are a healthcare worker or have another job that puts them at an increased risk of being exposed to the virus. But Walensky disagreed and put that recommendation back in, noting that such a move aligns with an FDA booster authorization decision earlier this week. The category she included covers people who live in institutional settings that increase their risk of exposure. Talking about people in jail, such as prisons, homeless shelters, as well as healthcare workers. The panel had offered the option of a booster for those ages 18 to 49 who have a chronic health problem and want one. But the advisors refused to go further and open boosters to otherwise healthy frontline healthcare workers who aren't at risk of severe illness but want to avoid even a mild infection. The panel voted 9 to 6 to reject the proposal. But Walensky decided to disregard the advisory committee's counsel on that issue. In a decision several hours after the panel adjourned, Walensky issued a statement saying she had restored the recommendation. As CDC director, it is my job to recognize where our actions can have the greatest impact. Thursday night at CDC, we are tasked with analyzing complex, often imperfect data to make concrete recommendations that optimize health. In a pandemic, even with uncertainty, we must take actions that we anticipate will do the greatest good. Experts say getting the unvaccinated their first shot remains their top priority, and the panel wrestled with whether the booster debate was distracting from that goal. Thursday's decision represented a dramatic scaling back of the Biden administration plan announced last month to dispense boosters to nearly everyone to shore up their protection. Late Wednesday, the Food and Drug Administration, like the CDC, signed off on Pfizer's boosters for a much narrower slice of the population than the White House envisioned. The booster plans mark an important shift in the nation's vaccine drive. Britain and Israel are already giving a third round of shots over strong objections from the World Health Organization. Pretty sad when you kind of have to root for the WHO. Walensky opened Thursday's meeting by stressing that vaccinating the unvaccinated remains the top goal here in America and around the world. You can be a hero. Roll up your sleeve. Walensky acknowledged the data on who really needs a booster right away are not perfect, yet collectively, they form a picture for us, she said, and they are what we have in this moment to make a decision about the next stage in this pandemic. The CDC panel stressed that its recommendations will be changed if new evidence shows more people need a booster. The CDC advisors expressed concern over the millions of Americans who received Moderna or Johnson & shots early into the vaccine rollout, there was a lot of people getting boosters on their own. They weren't even waiting for them to be approved. They just wanted them. They're that scared. They're that scared of the sniffles that before boosters were even a thing, they were out there getting them. Because nobody was checking. Did you already have one? No. Or I had the first one. I didn't have the second one. Oh, okay. Good enough for me. Here, roll up your sleeve. I just don't understand how later this afternoon we can say to people 65 and older, you're at risk for severe illness and death, but only half of you can protect yourselves right now, said Dr. Sarah Long. About 26 million Americans got their last Pfizer dose at least 6 months ago, about half of whom are 65 and older. It's not clear how many more will meet the CDC's panel booster qualifications. Public health experts not involved in Thursday's decision said it's unlikely people seeking third dose at drugstores or other sites will be required to prove they qualify. So there you go. You don't even have to prove. You can still get it. Just it's like that 10% of the illegal aliens who show up for their court date. You'll have 10% of the people like, well, I was told I wasn't allowed to, so I'm not going to. Even with the introduction of boosters, someone who has gotten just the first 2 doses would still be considered fully vaccinated, according to the CDC, Mrs. Dr. Dooling. That is an important question to people in parts of the country where you need to show proof of vaccination to eat at a restaurant or enter other places of business. Well, I'm glad I don't live there. If I did live there, I wouldn't live there. The U.S. has already authorized a third dose of Pfizer and Moderna for certain people with weakened immune systems, such as cancer patients, transplant recipients. Other Americans, healthy or not, have managed to get boosters in some cases simply by asking. That's pretty much it. All you have to do is go and ask. Get your boosters, roll up that sleeve. You can be a hero. Kid Rock did the J&J shot 2 times and still got it. Did he? Kid Rock got it? Oh, man. I feel a little bit let down. I like Kid Rock. If it's safe, I'll wait for the over-the-counter. I'm good. I'm good. I've never had a flu shot, not even once. I'm very proud of that. I will not get a shot. And that's just me. Obviously, I'm not recommending you do anything. You should do whatever you want to do, but I'm not doing it because I've never had a flu shot. I get the flu maybe once every 10 years. And I had it back in 2017, so I'll talk to you again in 2027 and we'll see if I get it then. Let's see. Hey, everyone's stuck on the bus heading home. Oh, you're stuck on the bus. Why are you in a bus? Don't you have a car? Why are you in a bus? That's the thing. If it was 100%, they wouldn't care about the audit. The only reason for them to want it to keep us from looking into it is because there's something to find out, probably. Dealing with a kid that lies, well, okay, I'm sure any parent out there has caught your child in a lie or caught them doing something they weren't supposed to do, right? Not a lie, let's per se. You found out they were doing something they weren't supposed to do. You called them out on it and they immediately start lying and you know it's a lie because you found out about it. And then you kind of coach them on it like, "Oh, is that what happened? That's strange because I don't think you did that at that time. I'm pretty sure you were over here at that moment." And then another lie. And then another lie and another lie. And you can kind of see it. It's that same panic on my daughter when I caught her red-handed as with this whole audit shit. In my opinion. It's all pointing towards communism, control the media, control the election, control the money, control the people with fear. I can be your hero. You don't want to get the jab? Hey, I had to type O blood and smoke pot. I'm in the less likely to catch it group. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about marijuana and COVID. I would definitely not say that that's going to help you not get it. I mean, first of all, I'm not a medical doctor or even in the medical profession. So, and I'm just recently into smoking as much as I have been. So, certain blood types are less likely to catch it. Well, maybe my blood type is less likely to catch it because I very rarely get sick. And I'm high risk too, so technically I should want to get it, but I really don't. All right, guys, that's going to end it for me tonight. Thank you very much for joining. Don't forget the descriptions down below. If this is your first time, we got a lot of great links down there. All the places to follow me, all the ways to donate if you want to do that. All the causes I believe in and support. So if you're looking for a cause to believe in and support, I have a few down there that I recommend, including the PH Association, which is pulmonary hypertension, which is what I live with and what I'm dying of, and it's not high blood pressure. It's a pressure in your lungs that causes the right side of your heart to enlarge, and there's no cure for it. They can only treat it. Obviously, there's no cure because why would they want to cure you when they're making $18,000 a month on medication? I mean, I could never afford that. Luckily, they have grants and stuff for it. Let's see. They did a study, said pot smokers less likely. Really? Well, you have to give me a link to that if you find it. I'd be interested in reading it. I might not. I might not put it on here. I don't know, but I'll look into it. All right. What else do I have in the descriptions? I believe that's all I have. Places to follow me, ways to donate, Amazon links if you want to do that, and all of the links for the Amazon stuff is stuff that I currently have and use. So maybe I should do videos on them as reviews, but I don't like editing very much. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get off of here. We're going to set up the Patriot Bible chat tonight, episode 11 out of 12, which is called Turning Point. I hope to see you all there. If I don't, make sure to look out for a special evening catch-up tomorrow. Maybe an evening catch-up tomorrow. If they do come out with groundbreaking evidence in the Arizona hearing, because that hearing is tomorrow, if that's newsworthy, I will be on the air. What's up, Guns Coast to Coast? How you doing? Can you believe I never heard of Canadian Prepper? I was watching that video. I'm like, who the fuck are you guys talking about? And the more you talk about him, I'm like, he's the biggest. He's got millions of views. And I'm like, never heard of him. He also just recently discovered that nicotine consumers were 97% less likely to get Alzheimer's, and now they are treating Alzheimer patients. They're not treating them with nicotine patches. They are treating them with patches that have nicotine in them, but they are not calling them nicotine patches. I'm just saying. All right, guys. I hope to see you over at the Patriot Bible chat for tonight. If not, check me out tomorrow here, just in case I do a special evening catch-up. And if not, I will see you back on Monday. That seems impossible. I've never watched a video that I know of. And I've only ever been subscribed to 2 prepping channels. One was Kansas Hillbilly Prepper, and one was Southern Indiana Prepper, both of which no longer are channel. Well, Kansas Hillbilly Prepper still has his channel up, but he passed, so he's not making any new content. And the other one deleted his channel. I guess so. I watch Demolition Ranch though, but I never comment. Here, and we went into this a little bit at the beginning of the episode of Guns. We went into this a little bit because the bigger channels, I watch Demolition Rants once in a while when I want to see something get destroyed. The inner kid in me, right? The inner kid in me loves that channel. I want to blow stuff up with a 50 cal. That sounds like fun. I mean, I got ridiculous firearm that absolutely serve hardly any purpose at all, other than just having a fun time. I have a magazine of 150 rounds, and back when bump stocks were legal, I had one on my AR-15 with a 150 round drum mag on it, and a piston system AR. I no longer have a piston system AR, and I no longer have a bump stock. I do have that magazine still, and I'll tell you what, that was $75 in about 20 seconds, but it took 20 seconds of continuous fire. Did it accomplish anything? It did. It accomplished people either going, what an idiot, or, yeah, America. And that's exactly what I went for. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys soon. Until I see you next time, make sure to keep that family close. Watch out for that government. Try to live as free as you can. Check out all my merch. And the government's coming to get you. You gotta stock up now. Go to Canadian Prepper and buy his prepping supplies.